Hey y'all, welcome back to Ryan and Robert Rants. We're back at you again with our ranked series. We are continuing the Conjuring Universe Ranked. Robert, which one we going to be doing today?
We are going to be doing the next movie in the franchise by release date, which is Annabelle.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Uh, yeah. The famous doll from the first movie, they decided to expand on the lore. Yeah.
They decided to do something.
Yeah.
But yes, Annabelle ranked. We are going to be covering that today, just like in the previous ranked that we did for The Conjuring, which definitely check it out if you haven't. We're going to be doing a full, well, not a full breakdown, but just a little 5 minute synopsis, a little subjective, objective, what worked, what didn't work, and we're also going to do our final thoughts out of 10 rating, and of course, Robert's baby, we are going to be doing the tier list. So, yeah, I guess we're just gonna jump right into it. There's a reason why I'm talking like this. You'll see why regarding Annabelle. But yeah, Robert, did you want to kick us off with a little synopsis? Sorry. Before we do, I did this on the last one too. Spoiler alert. We're gonna spoil everything in this movie for the most part. Well, at least what we deem spoilable. But yeah, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And yeah, like we said, definitely check out our previous ranked on The Conjuring so that way you can join in the conversation with us. But alas, let us continue. Robert, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Yeah, so Annabelle starts with the kind of the same opening scene that The Conjuring did. It was two young women and a man telling Ed and Lorraine their experience with the Annabelle doll. So, they kind of go in the whole scene in the first movie. They just kind of recap it here, just so you know, it's hey, this is tied to The Conjuring. So, 1 year prior to this, we meet John and Mia Gordon, a newlywed couple who are expecting their first child. At church, they were talking to their neighbors, the Higgins, over baby names. The John and Mia end up having like kind of like a small tiff, not like necessarily there, but like at the house. John says something, and then kind of upsets her. So he apologizes to her by giving her a doll, and this is where the Annabelle doll enters into this couple's life. Um, at night, there appears to be a murder happening in the house into the Higgins home. It wakes up Mia. She tells John, and he goes over to investigate. He comes rushing out of the neighbor's house covered in blood and telling Mia to call 911. She does and is about to head, back inside to her house. She finds, I guess, the couple that ended up murdering the Higgins, and they're trying to go after the doll, the Annabelle doll. Mia is stabbed by the man and kind of like in the side of her stomach. So she's pregnant. So this is kind of like you kind of feel for her. You're starting to worry for her and the baby, but the police arrive. They end up shooting the man. The woman ends up committing suicide. She kills herself in the other room. She leaves a bloody symbol on the Annabelle doll. A drop of her blood ends up falling on the doll's face and kind of sinks to its eye. Mia's rushed to the hospital. The doctor says the baby's fine. There was no damage to the cervix, but she is ordered to stay on bed rest. The next day, Mia, this is when sort of the strange occurrences begin to happen. The next day, Mia is sewing and watching TV. The stove turns on by itself and heats up kind of a Jiffy Pop popcorn, reminiscent of like Drew Barrymore's Scream. Um, yeah. Mia ends up cutting her finger on while she's sewing because she's kind of like not really paying attention, which you should always be paying attention while you're sewing. But yeah, the Jiffy Pop catches fire and she ends up smelling smoke, sees the fire. She tries to run out of the house, but she trips over a chair and she kind of gets she starts to get dragged by an unseen force. But a group of men end up running into the house. They save her. John, who ends up he works at the hospital, runs to find Mia. She's, unharmed, but that's when they find out, like, oh, she gave birth to a baby girl, and they decide to name her Leah. So all that, all the baby name kind of thing, huh, we end up getting a Leah because I think he didn't have any ideas for a girl name.
No.
Um, yeah, John Jr. obviously I believe is what for the boy, but yeah. So enter baby Leah. So Mia doesn't really feel safe in that home, so they end up moving to a new apartment, and as expected, the strange occurrences end up following them to the new apartment because I think, as we learned, what is it? Ghosts inhabit places, demons inhabit people or something or objects. So yeah. Um, so where did I leave off at? Yeah, so Mia ends up meeting the two the two neighbor children. Was a little boy. Sorry, fireworks.
You sure it's not Annabelle?
Never. I mean, you never know, right? Um, the girl tries to introduce herself to Mia, but the brother says, "Hey, don't talk to strangers." When Mia returns home, she sees the drawings from the kids because they were drawing. Would show a continuous animation of Mia wheeling Leah in a carriage and letting it go into the path of a truck. Um, yeah, where the truck ends up killing the baby, right?
Yeah.
As trucks do.
But it was
Another occasion,
cans. It was
I
cans.
know, right? Yeah, so Mia's alone, in an apartment and thinks she sees the ghost of a young girl. The door closes and the girl starts to run to the door, then turning into the adult Annabelle Higgins, which we find, we learned that was the name of the woman who invaded the house, who killed their neighbors. She was the daughter of their neighbors. She was part of the Manson cult. So Mia contacts the detective that was investigating that whole crime scene, and they end up kind of diving deep into the case. He informs her of their history with the kind of the Manson cult like thing. They were called the Disciples of the Ram, and they seek to summon a demon by claiming a soul. So, not good people.
No.
So yeah, this is where we kind of like identify or whatever, get diving deep into that symbol that Annabelle Higgins ends up drawing on the doll, which Annabelle Higgins. Also, Mia's actress is also named Annabelle, so
Yeah,
that's gonna
that's the
get
one
kind of
thing that always
it's
threw me off when it came out. I was like, wait, what?
yeah. Yeah, it's man. I don't know. It's gonna get kind of confusing. I was trying to leave out the actor's name because of that, like at least in the beginning. But yeah, so Mia, she wants to investigate, right? So she goes to a bookstore run by a woman named Evelyn, played by Alfre Woodard. Might recognize her from Luke Cage and
My girl,
as what was her name? Yeah, but anyways,
Mariah
uh
Stokes.
Mariah, that's right.
Black
And she ends up getting
Mariah.
a book called The Devil's Welcome. And from that, Mia determines that the presence that is haunting her wants, her baby's soul. So John and Mia end up contacting their priest, Father Perez, played by Tony Amendola. He takes the
Hmm.
Annabelle doll with him to the church, and then Perez enters the church, but ends up getting blown back by a powerful force. Who, yeah,
It's not
did
a
not last
Wilhelm
long,
scream, but it's something
but
akin to it. It's like,
yeah,
ah!
and then, yeah, he ends up in the hospital. So great help, Father, Father Perez.
That scene doesn't make
Um,
sense to me though. Like, I'm sorry to interject you. Like, it
no,
just doesn't. I'll bite my tongue till we talk about it. But
yeah, all good, all good. So yeah, John, it treats Perez at the hospital, while Mia meets with Evelyn. This is where we kind of get Evelyn's little, kind of some backstory. She had a daughter named Ruby that was around Mia's age when she ended up dying. They died in a car accident that was caused by Evelyn. I think Evelyn was like in a coma or something for 3 weeks. And of course, being the mother, she was so distraught that she tried to, attempt suicide. And then she claims to hear, Ruby's voice telling her that it wasn't her time, that, she still has a mission, a little bit of foreshadowing. Anyways, Father Perez warns John that it was indeed Annabelle's spirit that caused his injuries, and that she will take the soul, Leah's soul tonight. John rushes to warn Mia. In the apartment, the demonic presence haunts Mia and Evelyn. It pushes Evelyn out of the apartment and taunts Mia by locking her outside of Leah's room. Maria ends up breaking the doorknob and runs in to grab Leah. The doll appears to stand up and float all around, in midair, but it's really just being controlled by the demon. Um, what is Mia ends up grabbing the doll, and then ends up bashing it up against Leah's crib. And the doll then reappears and turns into the baby. So Mia thinks that she ends up like smashing the baby up against the crib. But yeah, then the doll ends up turning into like a giggling doll. She screams and asks what the demon wants, and then the window opens, and the whisper says, your soul written across it. When John gets home, he sees Evelyn trying to open the door. They both break in, find Mia ready to jump out the window with the Annabelle doll. John ends up pulling Mia back in like the slowest motion of a jump attempt in movie history. Uh,
No,
and then
please don't.
Evelyn, yeah, right. Um, Evelyn then grabs the doll and decides to make the sacrifice herself, believing this is what she was being spared to do, from to atone for her daughter's death. So she plunges out the window, hits the pavement, and then Leah is then heard from her crib, safe and sound. Kind of fast forward 6 months later, the Gordons have moved on and have not seen Annabelle since. Elsewhere, a woman comes into a store looking for a present for her daughter. That's where she finds the Annabelle doll, and I believe she makes a comment that her daughter's like a nurse, which is going to be the daughter that we see at the beginning of the film, recapping her story about the Annabelle experience to the Warrens. But yeah, that is the synopsis.
Thank you for that. Very thorough. But yes, that's literally the whole movie. This is a short movie. It's an
Yes, yes, it is.
insanely short movie. Honestly, like I'm shocked that it didn't end at the 80-minute mark because it feels like it's supposed to end like right there, but then all of a sudden like all this stuff happens really quick and then boom, then the movie's over. Cuz they got to pad out that time to hit the 90 minutes. But yeah, so with that being said, what worked for you with this?
I'm going to be real honest, not much.
I
But
figured as
I,
much.
yeah, I think I can maybe grasp a couple of things. So I'm gonna preface by saying what worked for me, just going based off this movie and the movie that came before The Conjuring. So I'm not going to take into account the other Annabelle movie, the other two Annabelle movies, or anything like that. Again, because I haven't seen those movies in a while, so I don't know if Annabelle like Creation or Annabelle Comes Home retcons anything that this movie did. But I do like, again, the setting is good, obviously, because we gotta keep that, right. But I do like tying it a little bit into the Manson like cult. Like, I mean, that's because that was like one of the biggest things during the time. I don't know if it was explicitly said the Manson cult, but it was of that essence, right?
Yeah.
So I think a devil worshipping cult, while cliche, kind of works. Um, that's about it on that part.
It works when you show the cult, though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
only
The
see two
idea, I like the
members.
idea. They just did not execute it, right? And again, that's
Yeah.
just gonna. I'm safe. That's. I like the idea of having the cold. Um, I will say that I do like the actress playing Mia. I thought she did really well,
Oh yeah.
especially the second half of the movie.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, the
freaking
character
love her in
herself.
Malignant. I love her
Yeah,
in Malignant, and she's great in Tag.
the character the character of Mia wasn't all that you know fleshed out, but I do think that the actress did an exceptional job of playing, of a haunted mother who's,
Yeah.
worried about her child, right, her baby. Yeah, Annabelle Wallace is her name. So she did a fine job. Other than that, I honestly, man, I don't really have too much more that I liked about this. I mean, it did have some jump scares that were hit or miss, but I think it overused them. It wasn't like in the Conjuring where those jump scares were impactful. But
Yeah.
again, I will get to that later. But yeah, I don't have much more else on. I mean, the Annabelle doll still looked creepy, so that's good. But that's honestly about it on what worked for me. How about you?
Same boat. I will say my favorite. I'll tell you what my favorite scene in the movie was. Can you guess what my favorite scene in the movie was?
When the
It's
end
the one that
credits
made me
roll?
laugh the most.
Nah. Oh, like maybe the Father Perez get thrown out.
That's one of them. That's one of them that made me. The scream on that one made me laugh. But there's one scene that made me laugh more than anything. You actually already brought it up. It's the scene when she's smashing the Annabelle doll
Oh.
against the crib, and she's like, "Give me back my baby," and then throws her, and then it cuts back to the baby on the ground. I was like scream laughing. Like, it's so ridiculous. You see that? Ah! You hear the little cry. She's just like, ah! Like my baby. I was like, they are not gonna kill a baby right now. They are not. Honestly, with them
Yo,
showing that and doing it, had they had gone through with it,
I
better
was see
movie.
that's what I was gonna bring up in my what didn't work for me. I'm gonna touch base on that again. But
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha. Um, uh,
'cause I thought it was a good scene, but
yeah.
again, the execution.
And again, that's the thing about this movie. So there's that. That's the only thing that worked for me was that one scene. But at the same time, it doesn't because they don't follow up. It's another fake out. Um,
Yeah.
with with that being said, what didn't work for you, Robert? Let's switch gears.
Oh
Where to
man,
start?
let me get to my notes. So yeah, I mean, I kind of touched up on it is the overuse of jump scares. Um, Again, The Conjuring, while it did have jump scares, I think they used them to be the most impactful that served the movie itself. This one kind of just used it as a cheap trick to keep the audience engaged, probably to see if they're still awake. Um, so that's kind of like a detriment for me. Weak script and story, weak characters. Honestly, a wasted cast. Like you have some good actors on this movie. I mean,
Yeah.
Annabelle Wallace is one of them. Who
Alfred Woodard, dude.
Alfred Woodard. I mean, Tony Amendola's not no, slouch. And then who was the man? I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. Who was
I was
it?
gonna see the detective. The first time I saw him, I was like, "Wait, I know this guy. I've seen him in something." And then I looked at his history, and I was like, "Oh, The Killing." Because, dude, I don't know why.
That's what he's from. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the secretary or the
yeah, the secretary
Yeah, he
for
looks so
Homegirl who was
familiar.
like, "No, I'm gonna protect you," like and stuff, like protecting her image and all that
Yeah,
nonsense. But yeah, because as
I
soon
mean
as I
it's a
saw him, I
decent
was like, "I know
cast.
this guy."
I still didn't think, man. I don't want to get on a tangent, but just real quick, that first season, I love the first season, but that ending just irritated me because I thought it was gonna be one of those shows where it ended like every season was going to be a new case, but that irritated me. Such a good show up until then, and I was just like, you know what? If we're going to do this, we're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm
But
with you on that. No, no, and it's not a tangent. I mean, it's the truth. Like it was.
yeah,
Yeah, if you haven't, definitely check out at least the first season of The Killing. It's
because I love gritty crime, detective stories like that, and yeah, we didn't end up well, we got it, but you just didn't get the conclusion you wanted.
agreed.
But I mean, so what I touched upon the characters. I mean, this did nothing for Annabelle's legacy. So I'm gonna go into it now about had they gone there, right? And it really was the baby that she was banging on. Maybe you don't have to do that scene where it's that violent, right? Where it could be just something maybe a little bit more tame. But had they did it where Mia ends up killing her baby, to me that would have this movie probably like the movie still would have been bad. But had you ended it like that, it would have cemented that Annabelle is, this cursed, like probably the most cursed
Evil.
object in this universe. Yeah, each straight
Pure
up evil.
evil. Evil incarnate. Like, you killed a
Exactly.
child. Like, you
Yes,
can't get any
a
more
baby.
evil than that.
Like, yeah. So had they gone there, I think that would have been like it might have saved it to an extent, right? Because you have those movies where it's a slow burn and you're kind of whatever, but the ending just hits you, and it kind of is like, okay, it was worth it for the ending. So that could have saved this to an extent. But man, again, they had some decent ideas. They just did not execute it. But yeah, I would have. I don't want to say I would have loved them killing the baby in the movie,
Yeah.
but
You would have loved them
had it.
taking that chance to
Yes, yes, yes. The
make something
shock
that was
value
like,
alone.
whoa, yeah, and not even for the sake of being like, oh, this is extreme. It's like, no, this would actually, like you said, it would showcase making
Stakes.
Annabelle, yeah, because
Yes.
Annabelle is never shown to be anything, anything except like a trickster. And what I mean by that is I'm not referencing anything that we're going to see from here on out, but everything we've seen so far with The Conjuring and in here. All it is, the demon's just like a little trickster. It's just pulling pranks. That's all it's doing. Like, hey, I burned your popcorn. Hey, I did this. Hey, I'm making you see this stuff. Like, get it? You know what I mean? Like, it's not really threatening. It's not even menacing. It's more just like aloof of what it's
Yeah.
doing. Like somewhere in the corner, it's like, like I almost got you. And it's not scary. I'm not scared at all from this. I don't feel threatened by it either. And I never realized until we started doing this that I don't really care much for Annabelle, the doll in
Yeah.
general. I'm just like, I don't get it. What's so scary about Annabelle?
I think this movie was a rush job because they were like, oh, The Conjuring was so successful. And I think this movie came out like what, a year after. So this just
Yes.
felt like rush job. They're like, let's capitalize. Everybody's probably curious about this doll. Let's write a movie based on this, whatever. And it just, I mean, you can tell flat out. You can tell they didn't take their time with the script, the characters, nothing. Um, you had a chance to make something good because people do find dolls creepy, and that doll is definitely creepy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you probably could have created something special with this. I mean, this movie did make a lot of money, but I mean,
But
it
was
just
it
felt flat
because
for me.
because of The Conjuring, because of what
Oh,
came
one hundred
before
percent,
it? It was like, oh
one hundred
yeah,
percent. Yeah.
Because no, I like everybody says, oh Annabelle. I think it's just because she looks creepy, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
the actions and everything else. Like it's not campy. It's not terrifying. It's nothing. Like there's nothing there. And again, that's what I think about this whole movie is nothing happens. It kind of feels like a Mike Flanagan movie at the beginning, but then it proceeds to go nowhere. It's building up, it's introducing you to these characters, you're getting a feel of who they are, what their motivations are, their dreams, their worries and fears. Um and it like nothing happens. The fire popcorn scene, dude. How does she not smell that until later? She's like,
Yeah.
it's not till it's already on fire. Then she's like, do I smell something burning? Like, come on,
Yeah.
dude. Like, just between that and then I don't know if you noticed, the fire has like a lion roar. It's like and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's the demon or if that was just the sound effect for the fire. But I wouldn't expect anything less from the director of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah. I mean, like that also just goes into the fact that this was definitely a rush job, and we all know that guy was probably not doing anything. Yeah,
Dude,
because
but he's been the director of photography or cinematographer on a good chunk of James Wan's movies. Dead Silence, Death Sentence, Insidious, The Conjuring, Insidious 2. So I mean,
I
he's
mean,
been with him for a
sometimes
minute.
people just, I mean, I'm looking them up right now, and I mean,
Dude,
yeah, he was
he
just
was the
talking
DP on a lot of interesting movies. Child's Play 3. Come on, he's worked with dolls before. This has
I
one of
mean,
my
but it's like
favorite Chucky lines.
sometimes like it's just you just got to stick with what you're known for. Don't just I don't know.
He gets a pass for Hot
Sometimes
Shots
it's in
Part 2. And Joe Dirt and the Scorpion King.
yeah, I'm looking. Oh, he did the butterfly effect too.
Dude, Piranha 3D.
I mean, he did direct an episode of Sleepy Hollow. I did like that show.
Oh, come on, you weren't
But
there day one for Honey, the Jessica Alba movie?
not day one.
Oh my god,
But
Providence. Oh man, you want to talk about a throwback of a show? Did you ever watch Providence on NBC?
I remember the trailers. I remember seeing the commercials for it.
Yeah, where she sees her dead mom.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much more on why this movie doesn't work. I'm going to do a quick run through of what the writer has done.
While you're doing that, I
That's
just
about
want to mention one final thing about what didn't work for me.
Go for it.
And it's Alfred Woodard's story about how, the whole situation with her daughter, how she tries to end it. And then she says that she sees that at the end she saw her daughter, and that she was being told that it's not her time yet, and that she says God has a plan for her, right?
Something like that.
That
Yeah.
is what's uttered, correct?
Yeah.
So by this logic, so he wanted her to end it later, but not now. Like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, I still want you to die by your hand,
And by
but
committing
just not now.
suicide, which
It's
was, a one-way ticket to,
to hell. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, you didn't see God, you saw the devil.
Yeah.
You saw the devil, and he was like, you know what? I owe one to my boy who's possessing Annabelle, so I'm gonna get him later.
Yeah.
So I need to keep you around for a little while because I owe him one. But then, when that happens, I have a false memory of seeing somewhere like the impact of her hitting, which honestly, it probably would have made it a better movie slightly, just seeing that impact. But Annabelle does pull a Michael Myers
Yeah.
because they're laying there and then they pan back and then boom, she's gone. Which is the issue I had with when the priest gets, Wilhelm yelped or yanked, I should say. And then you see, Ghost Annabelle come over and pick up the doll and walk off. So it's like
Yeah.
that's one of the issues I had with it. Is just like they're using the demon, but then they're using Annabelle, but then they're using the Annabelle doll, and it just gets too conflated for such a short time. And like you said, had they had dug a little deeper into her legacy, into the background, I feel like this would have been more of a fleshed out movie, but it's not. It's not at all. There's nothing here. Nothing story wise. Does
I
nothing,
mean,
and
not much else wise.
I hate the ending, dude. I hate the dialogue about where she says, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a gift for my daughter. She's a nurse. She's a good person because she helps people or whatever she says. That's exactly what they say at the beginning of The Conjuring. They're like, "We're nurses. We're supposed to help people, or we're good people. We're good people." Because we
Yeah.
help people, something along those lines. But it's her mom saying it. I'm like, that's just bad writing.
Yeah. They're like, we have to tie it into the beginning of The Conjuring. We
Yeah,
gotta let
because
the
I'm
audience
sorry,
know.
audience, you were too stupid to
Yeah.
get it that it was a reference to the beginning of the movie that just came out not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like it's like, come on, like that. I hate those cop outs in writing where it's like, no, there's making a subtle reference with the character or with a callback where it's like, oh dang, but this was just lazy writing because it's like, oh, this is just the line that's said for someone who wasn't even there,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to mention that last part. I was like, I had to mention that last line.
Yeah. All you got to do is just say, you don't even have to say anything else. Just like, oh, it's a gift. Like, you can just say, like the clerk can say, is this for you? It's like, oh, no, it's for my daughter.
Yeah,
Like, or, you don't even have to say anything else. Just like, it's a gift for my daughter. Like, the audience will tie that
yeah.
together.
Like put two and two together.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a
But
nurse. She's a good person, or whatever it is. See, I don't even remember what she says because I don't care. I don't care about
exactly.
this movie. But with that being said, what do you give this out of 10, Robert?
Oh, man. Out of 10. Let's
Hmm.
see. Where's my. I want to make sure I write the score down. That is not what I wanted. I'll find it here in a bit. There it is. Out of 10, honestly, I think I gave The Conjuring.
Is it 8.5? With Conjuring?
I think you gave it an 8.5. I gave mine a 9. So this
9.
one,
That's right.
man, if The Conjuring is probably going to be almost the tip top of this franchise, I'm trying to remember I'm going to give this a 3. 3 out of 10. Like, there's a couple of things I liked, a couple of things I wish they would have done differently. That, I mean, I've already went over it. Um, but just wasted cast. The script was not good. Just poor execution. They just did not. I felt like they wanted to make this. I don't. Was it PG-13 or rated R? Had to have been rated
This
R,
was
right?
R. It was R,
Yeah,
but I have a
but
false memory of it being PG-13.
I felt like they wanted this to be PG-13
Yeah.
because they wanted to keep it a little tame. It just, to me, this felt like a PG-13 R, like I'm gonna say a PG-13 R-rated film.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be rated R, but they kept it PG.
Like they
But
pushed
I
the
don't know.
PG-13.
Yeah, or they just made it lame like a R. Like, if you're gonna go rated R, go rated R.
So what made it
But yeah,
rated
like,
R? The blood and then the baby
I
getting
guess the
thrown on the
stabbing.
floor? Yeah, the
Yeah, I guess
stabbing.
the stabbing, maybe the murder in the beginning. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. The suicide.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go 3 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too
How about you?
anticlimactic on mine. 2.5. But I'll say the
Two
point
point
5
five.
is reserved for that baby scene and the priest getting yanked and the sound that he makes. Like those are the two scenes that saved this movie in my eyes. You know what the sad thing is? This is the first time I've seen this movie. I have seen all of the other Conjuring related movies. This is the only one that I never saw because I was told don't watch it, avoid it. It does nothing for the franchise and it's just a bad movie. And I mean, I like a good bad movie. This was just a bad movie. The sad thing, and we talked about this off air, is this movie's like 90 something minutes, and it felt like it was a freaking marathon for me to just try to finish it. Like I wanted to turn it off. I was just like, it's so boring. Like nothing's happening. The demon's not scary. They do show it, and then it's like, it doesn't really do anything. And again, the story is just it's just dragged out. And it's so dragged out, we have to move locations from a house to an apartment high rise. Like it's like, and then I had like, I was like, wait a minute, I thought like I saw a trailer for this back in the day. Aren't they like in an apartment or something like that? And I was like, oh, now they're transitioning to it. So it
Yeah.
was like I don't know. Like I said, it feels like a Mike Flanagan movie where it starts to show you who these characters are, builds them out, and it actually goes somewhere with them. But in here, it's not. It just the incident
Yeah.
happens, stuff ensues, but it just feels like it takes forever to showcase it. And by the time they want to
I
actually
think
do something with it, like the credits are getting ready to roll, people are putting their jackets on and getting ready to walk out. So it's
Yeah, it's just
like,
more of a paint by numbers type thing. Like they just had a
yeah,
rubric and they just like insert character, insert, like it's just I don't know.
yeah. And I can't help but wonder if there's stuff on the cutting room floor. Like, I mean, the thing with the neighbors above them and stuff like that. Like that never paid off. The thing with the kids
Yeah.
on the stairs never paid off. Like it was just,
Bunch of just random stuff. Like it's just like, what are we
yeah.
even doing?
Like it's like, well, they want an Annabelle movie. We didn't write one, but
Yeah.
uh,
This is the best we
yeah,
can do in like 3 weeks you asked us to.
yeah. It was like boom, movie. But yeah, 2.5. Can't go any higher than a 2.5. But aside from that, let's talk
Put it on a tier.
rankings. Let's switch gears. And we
Did I go first last time or you?
I don't remember. I don't recall. I believe you did.
Okay.
I
So I'll
think.
let you go first.
Yeah, so this one, ooh, this one's gonna be fun. Ooh. The way I look at it is this is the first time I watched this. Um, and I got to think about replay value. Like, do I want to watch this movie? To be honest, I never want to watch this movie ever again. There's no reason for me to watch this movie. Not even in a marathon, I would intentionally skip this movie and go out of my way to do so. And because of how much it was making me want to just pull my hair out, just trying to get through it, it's going in F. I just, no. I don't want to see this movie ever again. What
That's
about
I
you?
mean that's fair. I was honestly like my screen is so small right now. I didn't know if it was this one or this one, to be honest. Um yeah, honest this is when I watched this again, I vague honest when I was rewatching this, I thought the priest died. I had a vague or I was so adamant that the priest ended up dying. Like I remember the priest taking the doll, going to the church, and I could have sworn he died.
Well, after that yanking and
Um,
the amount of blood that we see on the ground, you'd think
yeah.
he's down and out for the count until they show the hospital scene.
So I mean, again, just it looks like we're just getting Mandela affected or something right here with this movie.
Dude,
But yeah, I probably won't watch this again either. Uh, I was looking forward to rewatching it just for this series alone, because again, I didn't remember anything from it. But yeah, I think I'm in agreement. I'm gonna slot it in the F tier.
nice, nice. Look at us, neck and neck.
Yeah.
But hey, we still have a couple more to look forward to, but I'm just glad we don't have to deal with this one again. But thank y'all so much for watching. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and as Robert always says, get in the comments. We want to hear from you. Join us in the conversation. How do you feel about Annabelle? I know there's someone out there that this is like their favorite movie. There's got to be someone out there. We want to hear from you. Why? Persuade us. We want to try to understand you. But yeah, lot to look forward to though. Which speaking of, Robert, did you want to let them know about some of the other projects we have going on?
So yeah, this is our second video of the Conjuring Ranked Series. The first one will be live on the channel. If you're already watching this, please go check that out. Um, we did do the Superman Ranked Series. Feel free to check all that out. By the time this is on the channel, we'll have all of our Superman coverage, which includes the new James Gunn movie as well. We have a bunch of trailer reactions. We pretty much upload a new trailer reaction almost every day. So feel free to check them all out. There's just too many to name. Pretty much, if it's a movie you're looking forward to, we probably already reacted to it. If there's not, let us know. We will fit it in. We're taking requests. So yeah, give it all a shot.
Awesome, Robert. Thank you as always. Much appreciated. And thank y'all as well for watching. We'll catch y'all in the next one.